All right, so your final project is going to be what I call this medication alarm. And you're going to use your existing diabetes application. You're going to add a new screen, and you're going to set up 10 different alarm notifications per day so that it notifies the user when it's time to take their medications. So this should allow for editing the notifications, deleting, adding additional notifications up to the 10 limit. And each notification should include the following stuff. The time of the notification, that's when the alarm goes off, notes on what medications to take, and whether or not this alarm should be recurring each day. And then once you create that, we're going to store all of that into a file, which you guys already know how to do that. So, and this should be called nav bar, but this is or the tab bar. We already showed how to do this, where you create that menu bar to go back and forth. This thing on the bottom. That's funny. Where did mine go? That's weird. All right, so we're going to start by just creating a simple notification. And notifications work the same, more or less, as they do on the Android. And so they look like this. On the iPhone, they look like a piece of text that comes up on your lock screen so that you can see it right when it happens. And with the iPhone, I can clear them, or if I swipe it, it'll take me to that application, so I can go right to that, play my game or whatever I need to do, right? So those are what they call the notifications.
Those are the important kind of.
They're important. That's right. Gotta go collect your money or whatever. So I'm going to start by creating a new controller that we're going to add to our system here. So we need to add a new view controller. I'm going to put it up over here. And this is where we're going to add some stuff. So we need, what else do we need besides just this view on the screen?
A view controller.
A view controller, there you go, good. So I have to add a new file to my project. New file, a Cocoa Touch iOS class, and we'll call it the alarm view controller, and save it in our project. And so now we have the alarm view controller basic code that it wrote for us. And how do we attach this source code to the view in the storyboard? Click on the view.
On the storyboard, and then set the class.
Custom class. Okay, good. So this is going to be the alarm view controller, so it already knows about it. And so now when I click on this and change this to automatic, these two are tied together. All right, so now we've got that. Now the other thing I'd like to do, now that we have a tab controller, is to set this up as a new item for the for my tab bar. So I'm going to right click and drag from my tab controller over to the new view, and remember we do a relationship segue. So this is a view controller relationship segue. So now I've got my little bar here working off all these kind of different views. All right, and this is a new view. So let's give it an ID, a name, a title. There we go. That's what I want. So this is going to be my medication alarm. And that lets me view it better over here in the list of all the views. And then this item on the toolbar has to be changed to, we'll just call it alarms. All right, so I always like to run this, see what we got. So now I've got calculator, weight log, bar chart, line chart, alarms. So there we go. It opened up my alarm view. Nothing in it, but at least I know I have everything connected correctly. All right, any questions on that? Okay, so let's add some, let's get rid of that. I gotta use the tab view more often. Of course, now I can't figure out where it is. Maybe I'm already there. I think I'm already there. All right, so this is, I need my view open, and then this is the controller. So let's get rid of some stuff. So let's add some stuff over here, like let's create one alarm. And what I wanted was a date, so we need a text area. So we need a label, we need a text field, and so this is going to be called alarm time. And so this will be the data that goes in it. Make this bigger. I need to have what else was from my assignment? I need the time, I need notes, and whether or not it should be recurring. All right, so I need a text box for notes.
And when you say recurring, you mean same time every day?
Yes, same time every day, yes. All right, so instead of a text field, we want to have multiple lines because maybe there's more information they want there. So we're going to put a notes field here and make it smaller. And that's funny, they put lorem ipsum in there automatically for you. Isn't that nice? So that's going to be a text field that we can edit. And then we need some kind of whether or not this is recurring. So a checkbox, or what does Apple call these guys? A segmented control would work. A switch. Let's do a switch because we haven't done one of those. So we'll say this is our switch, and we need a label for that. And we'll call this recurring. All right, not too bad. It's a start. All right, so that's all we need. So let's hook some things up to this guy. We need to have access to this, so we need an outlet for that guy. And we'll call it our alarm time. We need access to this, our text area, so we'll call it our notes text. And I need access to the switch, so we'll call it recurring switch, might as well, right? And hit UI switch. All right, so I've got 3 different things that I can play with now. So we've already done the alarm time, so let's hook that guy up. We did that in our log. Where's my log? Oh, here it is. Jeez, there it is. So there's my weight log controller. So we have this already created. And I'm going to use the same code, text field editing, as my function. I'm going to call that. Actually, I'm going to take all 3 of these guys. So this, I have my text field editing, which will get called when they click on that. That will pop up the date picker. And then these 2 are the callback functions that happen when the picker is finished. So we'll copy all of those guys, put it in my alarm view controller. All right, and let's change some stuff. So we first, let's go back to our view here. Our first thing we need to do is hook this function up to this text field, right? So that when they click on this, this action is happening. So how do we do that?
I always create an action and then paste in.
You do the other way around. So we can do it the other way around. Since this was already called an IB action, notice how it has a little circle here. So we can drag on the circle and go to the control instead. It's the same thing. It'll set up the control, or we can right click and drag from the control to highlight the entire function. Either way will set up this connection. All right, so now when they click here, this will launch our date view picker. And it's going to call our date picker value changed method, which is this guy. And it's going to call, I don't remember why we did multiple functions. I think we did this so that we could call it on the creation of the view. So we only have one thing in here, so I don't need to format the time. That was from the logger. And this text date is now this field, which we have an outlet for, which we called alarm time. So this should be called alarm time. All right, so that should let us pick a date and time, and it'll set the date and time back in our text box. Let's test it. Alarms, nice. So I click here, and nothing happens.
Did you do it in the properties? Did you sign it the quick? Oh no, you dragged, didn't you?
That's
Yeah,
that's in the Android side.
Stupid Android.
Stupid Android, I know. So on this side, we have the connection. Let's look and see. Maybe we have a bunch of them. Editing did end. So we really don't want editing did end. That was our problem. We want editing did begin, right? So if I tab out of this or click somewhere else, you'd think that that would be, yeah. So it finally popped it up. But so we don't want that. We want to change this to be editing did begin. So I want to kill this one. I'll clear this guy. And notice how I have circles over here too. So I want it to say editing did begin. So I'm going to click and drag from the circle to the function again. So now I've got them connected again. The issue was that when I connected these, it didn't give me that option. It didn't give me an option to choose that, which is why your way might work better, John. If I click and drag and insert an option, then it gives me the option of when that should trigger. So either way, I'm going to do it this way. Editing did begin. Click and drag. That's going to be my connection. And let's run her again.
So the code just magically knows your actions, basically. It's not showing editing did begin or edit.
No, that's all behind the scenes, and it stores it in that controlled property for you. I mean, you don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's nice. So here we go. Click. Nice. Got me a date and time picker. I'll pick, I want my alarm at 8:20 tomorrow.
So
And
I
click
actually wanted to
somebody
mention
else.
this the other day, but I noticed if you pick a time, you cannot pick. You have to like get off of the date you're on and then go back to it if you want to pick that particular date. At least in my instance.
You mean it on this
Yeah. So
stuff
if like
here?
you try to just click, it won't let you, and then you have to go back to it, and then it'll let you. If that makes sense.
No.
It's like, so
It doesn't make sense.
You click on the box, right, and it pulls up your.
Yeah.
Try to just do today, right? Just don't even. Just try to do that.
Okay.
See, it won't let you. But then you have to scroll. If you select another time and go back to that time, it'll let you then.
Well, part of that is, notice how this doesn't go away when I click somewhere else.
Yeah.
Part of that is that problem. So how do we get it to go away when I click somewhere else?
Oh, okay.
So that is, we did that in our code as well, back in the weight log view controller.
Touches again.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't ever want to see those.
Why is that an option?
And in the old days, we had to deal with that. We had to write that ourselves.
Just they wanted to do a throwback.
Yeah, it's a throwback. So we want that function that was this touch, let's see, touches begin, right? So we're going to override that sucker
That's right.
and end the editing, and that will force this guy over here in my alarm view controller. It's funny, it won't let me go back to automatic. Really? So clicking back here, automatic, alarm view, paste in my touches begin. Oh, that's interesting. It didn't move the little connector.
I've run into that
That's
before too.
bizarre. So I'm gonna put it down here. That was weird. All right, so now when I run it, it should click off. Click, 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 and it's off. All right, so, and here's my text view that I can edit in here, put stuff in here, or whatever. But I really, for an alarm, I really need the time too, right? So my date picker is already getting the date and time because I set the mode here. But how do I put that in the text box?
I did it by formatting with the date formatter. I
Yep.
formatted the date and then the time.
Okay, so I have it down that the time formatter, the time style is no style, which means nothing. So let's do the short style for the time as well. Click, click, click. Look at that.
So fancy.
Beautiful. All right, any questions on that? Boy, that took most of our time.
Can
So-
I take a look at your date format, the way you're doing it? I did mine differently and I like it much better.
Okay, there you go. Okay, I'm gonna stop. We'll finish the alarm stuff tomorrow.